Hi guys, my name is Sebastian and welcome to my full review of the Asus N550 entertainment notebook. So if we first take a look at the specifications of this machine, we'll find an Intel Core i7 4700 quad-core processor from the latest Haswell generation, as well as an NVIDIA GeForce GT 750M. This is an upper mid-range graphics card for mobile devices. Then also 8 GB of RAM, 1 TB hard drive and also a Blu-ray drive. In terms of ports, we'll have a Kensington lock on the right side, the Blu-ray drive, one USB 3.0 port as well as an SD card reader. On the left side of the notebook we'll then find the power input, also a special port for a mobile subwoofer, an Ethernet jack as well as HDMI and mini display port out, then two USB 3.0 ports and a headphone jack. If you take a look at the notebook itself, one of the first things that meets the eye is the excellent choice of materials as well as build quality. So we'll have an all aluminum construction here on the palm rest as well as also on the lid of the notebook. Besides that, basically the only part where we'll find plastic is on the bottom of the notebook, but in general just the build quality and also the materials are excellent. Also the details are right, so for example we'll find this chamfered edge that we already know from devices like the HTC One or the iPhone 5, so this is certainly a notebook that stands out of the crowd. The display on the N550 is also excellent. We'll find a 50-inch screen with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, so a full HD resolution display. It's also IPS, so we'll find excellent viewing angles, great color reproduction, and especially for things like movies, this is the perfect screen. One of the very important things about a laptop is of course the keyboard and trackpad. So first off, starting with the keyboard, we'll find a chiclet style keyboard with a separate number pad. So for example, if we are working on a lot of Excel documents, then this is the perfect choice. Also this keyboard is backlit in white, so this is also very nice if you work in a dark environment. The typing and also gaming experience is very nice. There is no keyboard flex whatsoever, so it's a very solid construction all around the machine. And overall just the typing is a pleasure. The trackpad is of course a multi-touch trackpad with integrated mouse buttons, and the size is very nice, also the surface, so it's not sticky or anything, and I never had really any issues with, for example, the drivers, so it's also a very nice trackpad, especially for a Windows machine. One of the big features that actually Asus advertises for the N550 notebook are the speakers, so we'll even find branding here from Audio by Bang & Olufsen Ice Power. So I had very high expectations for the speakers on this notebook, and actually the first thing I thought was that they are actually behind these machine drilled holes in the aluminum. Now this is at least what it looks like when you look at it online, but actually these aren't even drilled holes. This is basically just a pattern that's printed on top of the metal, and so the speakers are actually found on the front of the laptop on the bottom. And one of the highlights also is that Asus actually delivers one mobile subwoofer that comes with the notebook in the packaging, and I actually never seen this before, so that was very nice. Now unfortunately the nice experience with the speakers kind of ended once I started to turn it on, especially in terms of music. So especially for music, if the subwoofer is connected or not, the speaker quality isn't really that great. It sounds a little bit thinny even with the subwoofer connected, and also just the quality isn't very good. Now this changes a little bit if you, for example, watch a Blu-ray movie, then the subwoofer definitely makes a noticeable difference, and then it's certainly above average, but it's not a standout feature, and so I was definitely a little bit disappointed. The battery life of this notebook is around 4 to 5 hours if you turn on the brightness of the screen, as well as, for example, not use the backlit of the keyboard and just browse the internet and write some documents. Then that's certainly a realistic number, but if you then actually use it heavily, for example with gaming or video editing, which this machine is fully capable of, then you definitely run out of battery a lot sooner. In terms of performance, as also the specs suggest, this machine is pretty much a beast. So if we take a look at Cinebench right here and look at the OpenGL score, we'll find a score of 32.69 frames per second. So this is in comparison, for example, to the Alienware 14 that I reviewed a couple of weeks back, half the score. But if you compare it to, for example, integrated graphics card that you find on a lot of laptops, this is a major step up and very impressive. In terms of CPU score, we'll find 309, and this Intel Core 4700 quad-core processor is used in a lot of higher-end notebooks, for example also the exact same processor as in the Alienware 14, so the performance is more than enough for gaming, but also for things like video editing. So this is certainly a machine that will never struggle in terms of performance. And this also wraps up my review of the Asus N550 entertainment notebook. Overall, I have to say I'm very impressed. Excellent screen, excellent build quality and materials, great keyboard and trackpad. As I mentioned, the only thing that was kind of let down were the speakers, but I think that's definitely something with all the other great aspects that's not too important. And so I have to say I'm very impressed with this laptop overall. Now, it's definitely not cheap. It's around 1,200 euros or more in this specific configuration, but I think it's absolutely worth it. If you're not looking, for example, for something like an Ultrabook that's definitely a lot more portable, but still want a regular laptop, also with a great Blu-ray drive, then this is a perfect choice and I can highly recommend it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for many more tech videos. My name is Sebastian and this was my full review of the Asus N550 entertainment notebook.